Good morning, class. How do you feel today? I hope that all of you are fine now. Saya Ibu Dian Febriana, mengajar bahasa Inggris di SMA Negeri 1 Kota Bogor. So for today, we are going to learn about narrative. As you know that narrative is one of the 12 genres that you need to learn start from the beginning, the first year of senior high school up to the third year senior high school. So in this 11th grade, you are going to reviewing only about the condition or the construction of narrative, but we are going to have or to get a different product of it. While you were learning the narrative in the first year, still remember that your teacher already gave you another products such as how to create a cartoon strip, how to design a legend, folk tales maybe also. But in this 11th grade, you only have a short story, how to create a short story. So before that, before we do the product, I want you reviewing a little bit about the narrative purpose. Seeing from this slide, you may see that the purpose of the narrative is to entertain the readers with actual or imaginary experiences in different ways. Narrative always deal with some problems which lead to the climax and then turn into a solution to the problem. So don't forget that every time you find out or you read a text in narrative, it means that there will be a problem there. Yeah, the problem should be solved, should get its solution. Ya, jadi ingat kalau dalam naratif itu selalu kamu akan dihadapkan pada sebuah cerita yang ada masalah di dalamnya, kemudian harus dicari jalan keluarnya. Ya, okay. And then after you already known the purpose, we are going to see the construction of its generic structure or also known as the text organization. Jadi nanti setelah tahu purpose-nya, kamu akan mempelajari konstruksi dari pola tulisannya. Ya, ini seperti kerangka juga. So the first part of its generic structure is the type of orientation. Ya, in the orientation, don't forget that you have to put or to involve the setting. In the setting, there should be a place or the date when or where the story happens. Also, all the characters needed. The characters can be divided into the main characters atau pemeran utama and also the supporting characters, pemeran-pemeran pembantu. And also probably the writer going to put the plot. I mean the plot of the story. Apa tuh? Mungkin saja nanti pengarangnya akan memberikan alur ceritanya ya. And then after you already completed in the first paragraph or at the beginning of the text, you need to insert or to complete it with the complication. In a complication, the problem arises followed by other problems. So it means that it can be one or more than one problems in one story. Jadi di dalam komplikasi nanti pengarang akan memasukkan masalahnya. Bisa saja itu satu masalah atau beberapa masalah. Ya, setelah kamu finish, after you finish the complication, it will be closed the story in the part of resolution. So in the part of resolution, the solution should be put or should be added. Yeah, it means that the problem already cleared, yeah, solved by the writer. Jadi di dalam disolusi nanti kamu akan menemukan pemecahan masalah atau disebut juga solusinya dari masalah yang disajikan di dalam cerita. Okay, after you already maintain the construction of narrative generic structure, it will be continue to knowing all about the grammatical way, as you know also as the language feature. Ya, jadi harus tahu ya language features itu apa. Adalah hal-hal yang berhubungan dengan grammarnya yang dipakai atau yang diterapkan di dalam teks naratif itu. For example, like the use of noun phrases, ya. It should be there. Ada penggunaan frasa kata benda. And then the use of connectives. Connective mean also conjunction. For example, that these probably are frequently used while the writer going to connect it to connect the first complication to the next complication, or probably the writer need to connect between the orientation and the next complication, and also probably in the closing of the text, ya. Jadi ini connectives ini akan ada di mana-mana. Dia akan menyambungkan, mengkoneksikan antara orientasi dengan apa tuh tadi komplikasinya, atau bisa juga dengan resolusinya, ya. And then also the use of adverbial phrases of time and place. So if the adverbial phrase of time it means that the writer need to put a certain condition of place, ya. Adverb of phrase place itu berarti tempat. But it might be different if the writer put the adverbial phrases of time. It means that the writer need to put also to add more information about the time. Jadi kapan kerjaan itu dilakukan. For example, like 2 days ago, itu ya. 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, another day. That's all the reconstruction of adverbial phrases of time. And of course, the main point or the best one in the language feature is the use of simple past tense. Don't forget that. Narrative is also actually a type of story that telling all about the experience in the past. Yeah. So if the condition is in the past, it means that the writer should be frequently use the simple past tense. But it doesn't mean that you only use that kind of tense, ya. Jadi bisa saja nanti pakai tenses yang lain, tergantung dari konstruksinya. Tapi utamanya, the main pointnya adalah the use of simple past tense frequently. Lebih sering dipakai simple past tense-nya. Also after that, you need to know also about the use of action verbs, ya. Action verbs, all the verbs or the group of verbs that identified activity. For example, like walk, sit, sleep, wake up. Ya, semuanya itu kata-kata kerja yang dipakai untuk kelompok action verb. Artinya kata-kata kerja yang berkenaan dengan kegiatan. And also the use of saying verbs. Ya, in narratives there are frequently added kind of direct speech, yeah. So if the writer put the direct speech condition, it means that he also need to insert saying verbs, ya. Jadi kalau nanti pengarangnya lebih banyak menggunakan kalimat-kalimat langsung, berarti dia dengan sendirinya akan menggunakan kata-kata kerja yang berhubungan dengan kata-kata yang diucapkan. For example, like say, tell, ask, ya. And then last but not least, the use of thinking verbs. Ini juga bisa dipakaikan secara frekuentif, adalah kata-kata kerja yang menyatakan kondisi berpikir atau kondisi mempunyai perasaan, atau kata-kata kerja yang menerangkan tentang identifikasi panca indera, ya, verbs of senses. Contohnya, for example, they felt hungry. She felt hungry. Itu hungry kan lapar. Berarti itu ada hubungannya sama apa? Sama feeling. Karena ada felt. There is a verb felt there, ya, in the past. So it means that this verb felt is going to put in the group of feeling verbs, ya. Jadi dimasukin tuh dalam kelompok kata kerja yang berkenaan dengan perasaan. Karena ada kata-kata kerja felt di situ, bentuk kedua atau bentuk simple pastnya atau past participle-nya dari bentuk feel, ya. Contoh lain, another example, she thought she was clever. She smelled something burning. Nah, kalau smelled itu berhubungan sama penciuman, indera penciuman. So it can be grouped in the verbs of senses. Jadi ini contoh kalimat yang bisa dikelompokkan ke dalam yang menggunakan kata-kata kerja yang berhubungan dengan panca indera. Oke, saya rasa ini language ini udah cukup jelas. Sekarang kita lihat contoh-contoh produk naratifnya. Ini tadi yang saya mau fokuskan ya untuk kelas 11. Myths itu mitos udah diajarkan di kelas 10 ya. We have already learned about myths and also the legends, legenda, folk tales juga udah pernah diajarkan, cerita rakyat, fables, cerita-cerita yang aktornya atau karakternya animal, binatang-binatang. Ada juga waktu itu saya pernah udah berikan tugas berkelompok how to create a cartoon strips ya, cerita kartun. Kita udah pernah mengerjakan di kelas 1, kelas 10. And then also it can be in the product of picture books ya. Bisa dalam bentuk buku-buku dongeng. Okay, for the 11th grade student, as I told you before, that short story will be dominated based on the construction of narrative. Ya, jadi nanti kita akan bikin tugas juga nih untuk kelas 11 mengarang cerita pendek. Short stories itu cerpen ya. Ini saya bawakan contohnya, kamu bisa lihat di sini. Ini adalah contohnya. The Black Cat. Saya ambil dari penulis terkenal Edgar Allan Poe dari Amerika. Itu udah sangat terkenal novelnya. Kamu bisa lihat dari sini saya ambil dari Easy Stories in English. Kamu bisa lihat nanti di internet ya. Kalau mau cari cerita yang lain. Oke, saya rasa hari ini udah cukup. Terima kasih atas attention-nya. Have a good time. Bye. See you.